Hey, I would like to give you some subliminal tips because I have been using them for quite a while, and considering my past, I have extensive training on this topic. So, when you're listening to subliminals, whatever topic you're listening to, you're going to have effects regarding those topics that aren't favorable. Meaning, if you're listening to an energy protection subliminal, or if there's a topic in the subliminal that says you are divinely guided, or something along the lines of your energy systems being, healed, your aura being cleaned up, those types of things, you're going to experience entities, attachments, and things that were on you detaching from you and possibly draining you before, like, on their, last hurrah out. If you're listening to a subliminal regarding a healthy body or a healthy mind, you're probably going to experience what's called a purge or a healing crisis. For example, if you're listening to a teeth repair subliminal, you're probably going to get a tooth infection during the process of listening to it, because your gums and your body are expelling the toxins within you, which means it results in an infection. So what you do is continue the use of the subliminal, add in extra efforts physically with what you're eating, like drink more water, maybe chew on some garlic with coconut oil, drink lemon water, put some apple cider vinegar in your water and drink it in the morning. Help your body basically detox. If you're listening to subliminals regarding relationships or healing certain types of relationships or getting a boyfriend or girlfriend, you're probably going to experience a lot of depression, sadness, grief. You're going to be crying a lot. All these things are going to come up for you to resolve them so that you can move forward. The way subliminals work isn't that they just, do it for you. Example being, if you want to have bigger lips, yeah, your lips are going to get plump, but during the process of them getting plump, or even before they do, you're going to get massive amounts of negative emotions coming out of you regarding your thin lips or your current state, your small boobs, or your big butt that you're trying to shrink. Whatever it is, you're going to have to deal with the situation first, and then you get the result. So another example being male to female or female to male subliminals. A lot of people, myself included, when I've listened to them and when they've listened to them, they've come to me, or just all over, okay? I've had a lot of people come to me regarding some comments I've made on some of these subliminals, asking me how they work and that they're having negative effects, that they just feel like it's so pointless. Well, that's your resistance to you actually changing. So if you're attempting to construct your female reproductive system, which is completely doable, your body did it in the womb when it had all the nutrients to do it, and the only thing that was really different was that your body was in a state of growth. So you can still do these things, okay? All that aside, you can still do these things. The issue is you're not allowing yourself to do them. So when you listen to these subliminals and the issue comes up again, and your subconscious is like, hey, I want to make these changes, and your conscious mind is like, but, a million different reasons, you're going to have to deal with those reasons, especially with your masculine and feminine side, because you are a harmony of both. So if you're attempting to go from female to male, you're going to have to make peace with your female side and embrace your male side. If you're going from male to female, you're going to have to make peace with your male side and embrace your female side, which means weird dreams, weird experiences, people flirting with you or people insulting you, looking at yourself and thinking how ugly you are or how not worth it you are, or realizing that maybe you're making a mistake, or realizing that this was exactly what you're supposed to be doing. All of these things will come up so that you can resolve the issue that you've created energetically in that moment so that you can move forward. Another example being somebody with a broken leg and they're listening to a subliminal to heal bones. They're going to have to resolve the issue of why they don't want to walk in the first place. Because the leg was only broken because the person manifested it to themselves so that they wouldn't have to walk. Why didn't they want to walk? Maybe they didn't want to go to work. Maybe they're tired of carrying too much of a burden. If it's the right leg, maybe they're afraid of moving into the future. If it's the left leg, maybe they don't want to leave the past behind and they're, missing someone. If you're attempting to heal depression and you're listening to subliminals for that, and your depression gets worse, it's getting worse because it's becoming more prominent in your life so that you can see the issue clearly, so that you can resolve it. Because Source, the universe, God, whatever you want to call the power that is, the all that is, was, and ever will be, along with you, which you are an aspect of that being, of that power, of that force. And this universe is a reflection of you. So if you're attempting to make changes, well, you're not going to be allowed to cheat. So even if you want to change from male to female, you're not going to be allowed to cheat. You're going to have to resolve the issues completely. An entire lifetime's worth of issues of having lived male and all the lessons you learned as a male that your soul, your consciousness wanted to learn. And then you get to shift to female. If you want to have a relationship and you're listening to these attract a partner subliminals, but you're like not finding a partner, it's because you're not letting yourself learn the lessons of being single. You're trying to avoid being single and then run to being in a relationship when you are at a higher level intended to be single to learn a specific thing. So you have to learn the thing first before you can go and have a relationship. Otherwise, you're just going to go back to the same cycle again, which is going to just waste your time. And the soul, the consciousness, and the body are too intelligent. They won't allow you to do that. Especially because when you're functioning in your body, you're just basically functioning on a minor percentage of consciousness. The rest of it is on autopilot and handled through the higher being. You simply are a relay system. So you're the operator. The soul communicates, the subconscious communicates, the universe and source communicate, and you as the being that is living get to decide what goes where and what you want to experience. And then you wait, and then it occurs. So another example, plants. I've been attempting to, I've sticks, different things in here that I'm attempting to root and grow. Some of them aren't growing. And I've been asking myself, well, why aren't some of these growing? Like that one right there. That was all cat grass. Why wasn't that one growing, but the rest of these are? Because if that one was growing, and then the cat was getting near them for her treats, then she would probably think that the rest of these are cat grass too. So at some level, I had stopped that one from growing, but I've allowed the rest of these to grow. So the lesson in here is, like, put it somewhere where the cat isn't going to be around all these things, right? Whatever. Your beautification subliminals. You're listening to your desired face or your, whatever. You're going to have to make peace with looking the way you look now so that you can be grateful and happy for the way you look now and the way you're going to look then. It's like you're here on this little plate and you want to be over there on the carpet. But first you have to realize why you wanted to be on this plate first. What is the cool thing about having what it is you have now? What did you learn from it? What's the lesson? How did it serve you? Did you write down the experiences you had? Were you grateful for them? Were you happy that you got, you had the breakup? Were you content that you had that weird nose or the teeth that made you learn how to take care of your mouth so much more efficiently than those people who were born with perfect teeth? Those wrinkles you're trying to get rid of, or those breasts you're trying to grow. Are you grateful that you got to experience what it's like to have small breasts or wrinkles? So now that when someone asks you, hey, how do you get rid of these things? What did you do when you had them? How did you feel confident with those things? Now you know how to tell them. Now you know how to be of help. And another thing to help you make your subliminals work better, regardless of which ones you're listening to. When you're listening to the subliminals, at least once a day, set aside 10 minutes of time and take a journal and a pen and write down, like if the subliminal has, the list of affirmations, or kind of the affirmations where it's like, these are the expected results type of thing, or your intention of why you're actually listening to the subliminal. Write it down for yourself, what you expect out of it. So if you're listening to a career a subliminal, write down what you intend to receive from this career. What do you intend to experience? Your intention is powerful. So what do you like? You want this job that pays you $50,000 a month? What are you going to do with that $50,000 a month? Are you going to like the person you're going to be with $50,000 a month? Because the person you are now with like $1,000 a month is a really humble, kind, simple person. Are you aware of that? And if you go and be a person with $50,000 a month, you're not going to be as humble and kind. You know this. It's a programming set up within you. So your consciousness is doing these things, preventing you from moving forward so that you can be grateful for what you have now and then move forward, instead of moving forward and then looking back and saying, oh, that was so much better. Now I'm over there and those plants are still waiting to grow, but this one was already all grown and I had a little pink house and there were little butterflies and I didn't even notice because it was just looked like a mess to me. And over there's like nothing there, and I'm over there now making all that money and I don't even know what I want to do with it yet, because I already had everything I wanted right here. But now I'm over there and I got all that stuff and I don't even know what to do with it. And then there's that cat grass and some weird pumpkin. I mean, what is this? So basically, notice and be aware of where you are and what you have. That way, you're making a fair trade. You're basically making a deal with your body and the universe. You're saying, hey, universe, I will give you this pink butterfly for that purple pumpkin or orange pumpkin and that purple pot right there. And the universe is like, okay, I will give you this purple pot and this orange pumpkin, but tell me why you want to give this away and why you were grateful to have it in the first place, and why did you want it in the first place? Why did you want the facial hair you have now if you are attempting to get rid of it? Why did you want the penis and the testicles if what you want now is a vagina and a uterus and ovaries? What did the penis and the testicles teach you and serve you with? What did the $1,000 a month teach you and serve you, so that you can learn how to handle the $50,000 a month 50 times better than you did the $1,000 a month? What did you experience being single? How did you learn to appreciate the moments of being with the love of your life? Weren't you daydreaming 1,000 times when you were single to be with the love of your life and to kiss and hug and do all those passionate things? Now that you have them, are you doing those things? Are you gonna appreciate every moment that the love of your life looks at you and smiles at you and tells you how much he loves you or she loves you? Or are you just gonna take it for granted and be like, yeah, that guy, it's just boring. We just spend every minute together and it's just blah. Isn't that what you wanted? Get it? Your mind is a relay. It's a satellite. It's a system that communicates with all of creation. So if you want something, it's as easy as allowing it into your life. But allowing it into your life means knowing what you're giving up, so that you don't get regret later. That's all it is. No one's telling you can't be a female. No one's telling you can't be a goddess or some super saiyan, warrior anywhere. No one's telling you can't do these things at all. The only thing is, are you capable of handling that experience immediately? I mean, could you even imagine waking up tomorrow with a full female body but the same consciousness you have now? You'd probably shit yourself completely. I mean, I've been through some weird space programs and secret shits and all sorts of weirdness, okay? And if I woke up tomorrow as some blue alien, I would freak the fuck out. I still would. And I've encountered extraterrestrials, I've encountered entities, I have encountered demons and angels. And if one of them just popped up next to me right now, I would scream like Betty Crocker in a cookie factory. You don't know. Like, your human mind isn't prepared for these things. You have to use a godly mind. You have to get yourself out of the human body to see what it is about the human body and the energy systems, and to be aware that you don't have just one human body. You have 12 human bodies. And those bodies are all around this. So I'm showing you my hand right now, right? And you only see one hand. Some of you see the aura. But there are 12 layers to this hand outside of this. This hand is the, if I had a light bulb here, it would be so much easier to show you. It's the fibers within the light bulb. So you know when you hold a light bulb and it has the two little prongs and then the little wire in between? The hand is the prongs. The body is the actual hard material. The rest of the body is the lights, the electricity, the energy, the currents, the auric energy, the celestial, the etheric, the etheric, the auric, the galactic. There's so many, and you have way more than 7 chakras, all of which need to be balanced and harmonized, and all of which come to your attention when the time is ready. Hence why you guys know of 7 or 9, and then the wish chakra. There's a lot more. So when you're attempting to change your body, it's not as simple as just plumping your lip. You're undoing a lot of programming, you're changing a way of living, and you're instating and insisting to your conscious mind, because your subconscious mind has already done it. It's already allowed it. There's a reality with that stuff there. Your conscious mind is what you're attempting to convince. Basically, the person watching this video, that's the person you're trying to convince on allowing yourself to be what you want to be. Because that person is the programming result of your mother, your father, your community, your society, your school, and everything you've learned. The human, you're basically attempting to get the human out of the way to let the God drive. And it has nothing to do with going against the creator or going against any of that. The creator is unconditionally loving. It is a neutral power supply. It is the all that is, was, and ever will be. And it is far too great and infinite and eternal to care whether you want bigger tits, a vagina, a penis, or whatever you want. A relationship, a ex back in your life, or anything. It is far too greater than your pitiful human consciousness to care about those things. Why? Because it is infinite potentiality. It is infinite reality. Meaning, in some reality, your consciousness is already with your ex. You have already attracted so-and-so person. You're already married to Prince so-and-so. You're already dated to Princess whatchamacallit. In some reality, you have a penis, a vagina, and boobs. In another one, you have 4 boobs. In another one, you have 2 penises. It is completely irrelevant to Source, God, the Creator, the all that is, what it is you intend to do. It is simply there to support you in your experience, because you are a reflection, a fractal, a source, a spark of the all that is, was, and ever will be. So its intent to experience everything, which it already has because it's infinite, is experienced through you to experience it at an even more minute level, and to actually have this awareness within this dream called life. You cannot do wrong. There is no sin other than the sin of self-hatred and hurting other people. There is no going against, like, oh, I can't have this because it goes against my religion. Well, that's your religion. That's made by people that lived on the earth and wrote books and followed deities that were basically extraterrestrials or different forms of humans that evolved to that level and came back in time. It's a whole different thing than the actual infinite source of all creation. Because that source of all creation doesn't get jealous and it doesn't tell you what to do. Because it doesn't care. It cannot care because caring is a human emotion. Do you get that? The source, infinite, all that is, was, and ever will be, cannot be mad at you. It cannot disown you. It cannot punish you. It is impossible for this force of all that is, was, and ever will be to do those things to you, because it is a force of unconditional love. It is infinite. It is eternal. Nothing you do will ever make it less than what it is. Nothing. And you are a reflection, a spark, a fractal, a fragment of that is. So what you are experiencing here is completely already in service to the all that is. Whether you're the most horrible villain or the best superhero, it is irrelevant. You're reliving a story. So live the best story that you want. You have an infinite possibility pool in front of you to dive in. No one is telling you what not to do other than entities attempting to control you and harvest energy from you. Okay? Most of them being like, go research this in the Gnostic texts, go research this in other places. Don't just rely on what your parents told you and what the quote unquote holy buildings tell you. You and your body are the temple of God, of source, of creation. You and your direct link to your source creation is what you are already. And I don't want to get into this whole religious thing. That's your belief. That's your prerogative. You can choose to believe whatever you intend to believe. What's actually happening is that source, the all that is, was, and ever will be, doesn't care whether you want boobs or a vagina or if you work or don't work. It's just another reality to it. It's like, look, this is your reality of living as a chihuahua, and you have a dream of being a saber-toothed tiger. The Bibles and everything else tell you the chihuahua must remain a chihuahua. It'll die and be reborn as a chihuahua with a better blah, blah, blah. In this reality, that chihuahua is already a princess and she's married and has children, but in this reality, she's a chihuahua. In this reality, the princess is a prince and it's a villainous, murderous son of a bitch who pretends to be a prince. In this reality, the same chihuahua is a butterfly and it just got swatted by a hawk while the hawk was flying and didn't see the butterfly. In this reality, the chihuahua is a freaking sunflower. In this reality, the chihuahua is nothing more than a pumpkin, a toy pumpkin, because this also has consciousness, because this is made out of source energy. In this reality, it is a building. So this building has the consciousness of a chihuahua. So this building would be very small, very shaky, very cold to live in, very, irritable. You get it? It's all consciousness. It's all energy. And energy and consciousness doesn't judge. The human mind judges. Gods, as in the Norse gods, they also judge. They also have emotions because they are corporeal. They have flesh. If you have flesh, you judge and fear. If you truly are how do I word this tactfully? God, source, the all that is, was, and ever will be, is unable to judge unless it is in a human or a humanoid body. So if your deity is telling you, oh, hey, I'm going to tell you you can't do something, and you were going to judge all this, and then you're going to be condemned to hell, and etc., etc., that's not God. That's not Source. That's just an evolved human being. Evolved. Or a de-evolved human being, however you want to call it. But you know this. Deep down inside, you already know this. Infinite, all that is, the light of everything, the light, the dark, the good, the evil, all of creation is unable to judge you. Because judging is a human emotion. It is unable to fear, because fear is a human emotion. It is unable to hate or be jealous, because those are human emotions. If you're living your life in fear of those human emotions, you are basically living a life where you are in fear of human beings. Once you release that fear, you realize, oh, God is unconditional love, and I am here experiencing life to experience unconditional love. So I get to do whatever I want as long as it doesn't harm myself or other people, so that I can experience the best that life has to offer. And if I want to experience what it's like to steal a candy bar, go ahead. You're going to hate yourself afterwards anyway, and then you're going to feel stupid, but you experienced it. You want to experience being a whore? Go ahead. You can, but you're going to feel really dirty afterwards. You want to experience, fasting and being celibate and whatever, like, go for it. I do the same thing, but I don't do it for religious things. I do it because I'm maintaining my energy and my body, and I'm taking care of myself in different ways. We're all learning. We're all growing, and we are all aspects of Source, experiencing life as individualized versions. Just like this is all a part of nature. This is all God, Source. But here it's like a goji berry. Here it's some irises that are just refusing to grow. Here it's a little grape, I think. This is some catgrass that decided to just not be catgrass. There's I think that's a amaryllis that's coming back to life again for the umpteenth time. There's some mint that's like just hanging on by one leaf. There's an ivy that's growing back completely from scratch. Here's some more mint. There is a tamarind tree. There is I don't know what the fudge that is. It was a gift. It's all aspects of Source. Is one any less than the other because of how it has decided to experience life? No. So don't judge yourself. Enjoy your life. Thrive in the energy of Source creation and utilize your imagination and your ability to create. And please tell other people in your life who only reflect back at you your fears to go F themselves kindly. But don't actually say that to them because you might get slapped. Just be kind and don't let other people tell you what to do. They're not really there to help you. And if you're that trustworthy of a person that you think 100% of people are there to help you, you're going to get really hurt. The people that are really there to help you don't coddle you. They don't lie to you. And they don't go with the flow of human consciousness. They usually go against it and they tell you you're being a buffoon for following the herd. And since I'm here to help you, I'm telling you you're being a buffoon for following the herd. You're not a part of the legion. So stop the re-legioning of your consciousness and allow yourself to be yourself. Wow. Whoa. That was the most beautiful scent of roses and lilies I have ever smelled in my life. Oh my God. What's going on out here? I guess I'm saying something right. Lilies and roses, those are some high vibration flowers. Wow, I'm gonna go. That was just a whiff of heaven right there. Take care of yourself. I love you. And I really mean it.